Kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa, te toho toko pāpā, ko tarakia toko maunga, ko opipi toko awa, ko matatoa toko waka, ko muriwai toko tūpuna, ko whakatoia toko iwi, ko nai tamahoa toko hapu, ko opapi toko marae. Te taha toko māma, no Pākehā ia, no whangarei tōna whānau, no Pakatai te Puaki ahau, ko Pixie Barrington toko ingoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Kia ora everyone, my name is Pixie. I am an intern psychologist at Massey University in my final year of study working towards a doctorate in clinical psychology. And I'm here to talk to you today about my research which is on treatment barriers for Māori with social anxiety. And a very small part of that, as it's still in progress at the moment, around some ideas that are emerging around whānau. So to start off with, I would like to highlight why this research is important. From the literature, we can see that social anxiety is prevalent among Māori. That, as an example, in the big Te Rau Hinenaro study completed in 2006, we can see that anxiety disorders were the most common disorders among Māori, and social anxiety was sitting as the second most common anxiety disorder. Yet, when we look also at the literature, besides prevalence rates, there is no research or literature around Māori and their experiences of social anxiety and what that might be like for them. And we can see that from the literature that there is often a treatment-seeking delay among some of our Māori that might tend to leave treatment seeking until symptoms are more severe. This is particularly relevant for social anxiety, as social anxiety often precedes some of the other more serious disorders as well. In general, there is a treatment seeking delay for people who experience social anxiety. In New Zealand, this has been estimated to be around 28 years since the initial onset of symptoms, a median of 28 years. And often social anxiety then goes masked by other disorders, sits under other disorders, and is missed at times as well. So first of all, and to carry on from that, what is social anxiety? So the most primary component of social anxiety is fear anxiety in social situations where negative evaluation could occur. I'd like to stress that social anxiety is more than just shyness. So some of those situations that social anxiety might be experienced in include eating in front of others, public speaking, using public lavatories, meeting new people, but it is more than shyness. If we're thinking of shyness as here, then social anxiety is kind of up the scale a little bit. From the literature, we can see that there are barriers to treatment that have been identified specifically for social anxiety. Some of those you'll recognise across many different difficulties. But I'd like to stress that the psychological symptoms themselves also can be a barrier, as making that initial contact to a mental health provider is a social interaction in itself that could be perceived as possible negative evaluation occurring within that. So moving on to the methodology and the participants. So this research is taking a Māori-centred approach involving Māorian aspects of the research as it progresses, and it hopefully will be a piece of research that will benefit Māori. I'm recruiting through 4 CMH, Counties Manukau CMHCs, Te Punawai Ora, Whinatia, Manukau and the Cottage. And it is qualitative in its approach in that there is kānui ki te kānui interviews taking place, face-to-face interviews, and a very short questionnaire involving rating 15 treatment barriers from the literature on a 5-point Likert scale. 7 participants have been recruited thus far, 5 male, 2 female. The mean age is 36. And recruitment has been difficult in this process, but I think it was always going to be difficult given the nature of social anxiety. And in saying that, I am hopeful that in the next few weeks I will get my total of 12 that I'm after. In looking at some of the emerging ideas that are emerging about whānau, and as I said, the study is still in its completion, but whānau has been spoken about across all sort of aspects of the research, looking at experiences of social anxiety, treatment barriers, and what can be done to reduce those treatment barriers. So whānau has been spoken about as a source of support through communication. So when participants have wanted to sit down with their whānau, have a kōrero about their experiences of social anxiety, participants have spoken about how whānau have been there in that communication role. Whānau support has also been spoken about as stepping back and letting participants approach whānau when they're ready to talk about it. Whānau support has also been spoken about as a way of helping to manage symptoms. So over time, whānau have come to see and understand the symptoms of social anxiety a little bit better and notice them. Participants have spoken about whānau noticing those symptoms and helping to manage those when they arise. Other emerging ideas about whānau: from the questionnaire data, it was revealed so far that the biggest barrier to treatment was worry what other people will think. Now that fits in line with social anxiety and what we know about negative evaluation. For some people, they spoke specifically about worry about what their whānau would think about if they had social anxiety and were seeking treatment. So what will whānau say? What will they think about that? Some participants spoke about receiving less whānau support around when they wanted to first communicate and talk about their experiences of social anxiety, that whānau, some of their whānau weren't quite sure what to say or didn't say anything that was helpful for that person at that time. Other participants spoke about how there might be more information needed out there on social anxiety so that it's accessible for whānau, so that they can have and learn about a better understanding of social anxiety and the impact that it might have on some of our Māori that are experiencing it. So in conclusion, further analysis is definitely needed around whānau as a theme as the research progresses, and what possible sub-themes might come off of that. So far we can see that whānau might play a role in experiences of social anxiety, whether it's support or having more information being needed out there in the community. And that's really a question of how is that going to be available for whānau. I think that it shouldn't rest on the responsibility to educate. Whānau shouldn't rest solely on the shoulders of whānau alone, and we need to think about that as well. That's it from me. Kia ora and thank you.